Friday. It's Friday. It's Friday, May the 27th. Yep, it's Friday. Oh my God, it's Friday, May the 27th. May is almost over. It just started. Okay, like it was just yesterday that it was the first. But it's May. It is May 1st. It is May 27th. And it's Friday. Hi to whoever got an opportunity to hop on. Thank you for hopping on. If you will share the video for me. Your girl want to reach more people. So do that for your girl. Gratitude in advance. I knew that I would. It's Chris. Hi, Chris. I see another person that's on. Again, share the video for your girl. It's Flow Friday. Definitely wanted to. I knew I was going to get on live today, but you never know. You never know what you're going to be saying. You never know what the conversation's going to be. You never know what the piece is that you're going to give. The piece that we give. The piece that we give. Okay. So shout out to everybody that walked up in this piece, that joined this piece, okay, because we really are in this piece, okay? So, again, share the video, share the live, help me reach more people because we got some fire coming today. So, like I said, I didn't know what I'd be on here to talk about. Hey, Barbara. I didn't know what we'd be on here talking about, but it's like the minute that I said I'm going to go live, the message came for me. And that's the way God works. Spirit works like that. Spirit works like that. You can't trace the hand of spirit, okay? You can't decide, or you can't choose for spirit. Spirit chooses for you. So thank you, Father God, for giving me the message. The title of the video, the title of the live is Taking Up Space. Taking Up Space. And so this morning we had a powerful personal development call. For those of you guys who've been following me for some time, you know that I'm up at 4 o'clock. I'm up at 4 o'clock. To God be the glory. It's amen. Well, for me in my house, okay, it's amen. A-M-E-N, okay. But powerful video this morning by Sarah Jakes Roberts, right? T.D. Jakes' daughter. And she was talking about some phenomenal stuff. She was talking about the core of us, right? The core of us being our heart, and so many other things. And this month that has really been the focus for me, right? For every aspect. But I want to talk about taking up space and what that looks like as far as your core. So taking up space. First, let me say this. What does it mean for you to take up space? Like, what does it mean? What does it mean for you to take up space? What does that look like for you? And now I'm going to give you guys my interpretation of taking up space, like what that looks like for me. Taking up space for me means being an individual. It means being unapologetic, okay? It means speaking my truth unapologetically. It means not needing external validation from other people. It means not seeking instant gratification. It means being felt rather than being seen, okay? Meaning like, I need you to feel me. I want you to feel me rather than you need to see me, okay? Because there's just something about the seeing that it's not always what it seems to be. So, but feeling, you can't lie by feeling is the way I deem that. Like, you can't lie by feeling. So I'd rather be felt rather than seen. So that's what it also means for me to take up space. Taking up space also means me having boundaries, enforcing boundaries, allowing myself to be, right? Like allowing myself to be without limitation, without feeling like I need to dim my light, without feeling like I need to fit in the parameters of the box that someone else has for me. It means if I choose to do what I choose to do, it's by my choice. I'm not controlled. I'm not forced. I'm not manipulated into doing what someone wants me to do or to be or to how they want me to act, or how, I'm not under someone else's control. Taking up space means for me, I am in control of me. I I am in control of the space that I consume. Okay, I'm only in control of that, right? And so one thing I've learned in taking up space is that I'm also learning how to allow people to take up space as well. I really feel like when you have that kind of mindset that you want to take up space, or that you're allowing yourself to take up space, like I said, standing in your truth, being your individual self, being your authentic self, expressing your boundaries, having boundaries, expressing your boundaries, enforcing your boundaries. You respect when other people have boundaries. You respect when other people have standards. You respect when other people take up space. You respect when other people speak their mind. You respect those things because you are those things, and you respect that about another person, right? And so that's what it means for me to take up space. Now, let me also say that this has been a journey for me, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful, to God be the glory, for just his teaching me and his convicting me and his correcting me. So, hi, Ali. So I could come into this space. I think I also saw Wayman send me some love. Thank you, Wayman, for the love. Thank you, Jared, for hopping on. But yeah, like this was something I had to cultivate, taking up space. I don't think that we realize when people say dimming your light, right? What that truly means. You're not taking up space. You're afraid to take up space. You're afraid to tell people how you feel. You're afraid to speak your mind. You're afraid to express. You're afraid to expose your true self. So you'll stay in this little small container where you quote unquote feel safe to not be judged by another person. And so that, again, like, this is something that I've had to cultivate. I've had to learn how to be in this space, and it's so freeing for you to take up space. And it's also a great way for you to reflect on the spaces that you are in, where people may be in that same position or not in that same position. So you can really see, like I said a moment ago, when you do get to the space of taking up space and you can speak up for yourself, you have these boundaries, you respect your own space, you'll respect someone else's space. You'll respect someone else's truth. You'll respect someone else's frame of mind, their perspective, the way they carry themselves, their standards, their boundaries. You'll respect that, okay? And so I definitely wanted to come on to encourage you guys to do that if you're not already doing that. Like, take up space. Whatever you need, man, give it to yourself. A lot of times we be wanting respect from other people, but we don't respect ourselves, right? Like, you don't respect yourself, but then you're outside. This is the external validation. You're outwardly expecting that other people will respect you, but you don't have respect for yourself. You outwardly want someone to say love you or to honor your boundaries, but you don't honor your own boundaries. So how can someone else honor your boundaries? You want someone else to be committed to you, but you're not committed to you. You want someone else to speak, truthfully to you, to express to you, to be honest with you, to communicate with you, but you don't communicate with yourself. You don't hold yourself accountable in that respect. Like, every relationship and every connection in our life is truly a reflection of the person we are to ourselves. Your first relationship starts with you. You are your first relationship. And it's so important that we see it that way, because, again, the same way you treat another person is truly how you treat yourself. If you're invasive with yourself, you're invasive with other people. You're intrusive with other people. You don't allow space for other people. You literally, it's the same way that you treat yourself, you treat other people. And so this is so important, guys. This is so important because in just this new space that we're in, right? Like, we're making all these connections, that's the way of the world. That's the way that we're going into. We're making these connections, and they have to be soul deep. They have to be soul deep. And so that means that you're going to have to allow for people to have space and to take up space. And that also requires you to take up space too, right? Like, you have to be comfortable taking up space yourself in order for you to allow another person to take up space. And so just getting clear with yourself on where you're doing that or where you're not doing that, so you can cultivate more healthy relationships. It's a freeing feeling when you take up space. Let me also share this. One way that I've learned, I kind of like stumbled into this idea of taking up space is with my yoga practice. When I first started with yoga, you get a mat, and the mat is, it's a rectangle long, okay? And I used to, when we would get to Shavasana or Savasana, I used to try to fit my arms in the length of the mat, okay? And I just remember the yoga teachers used to be like, it's okay for you to take up space. So if my arms are off the mat, if my feet are off the mat, if my head is off the mat, it's okay. Right? And so again, that's another concept that I would hear all the time is the way you show up on your mat is how you show up in life. And so that was a clear indication for me that I was trying to fit into this square. Okay, I was trying to fit into the square. And so if I'll give you that tidbit. If you don't practice yoga, find you a yoga studio, go to that studio, get you a mat, and just go allow the practice to teach you about yourself. Okay, because how we do one thing is how we do everything. Okay, and so yoga was definitely like that insight of how I was showing up in the world. And of course, every level you find out a little bit more. You get deeper into that introspection for yourself. But the first introspective part for me was when it was Savasana, how I literally would try to fit every piece of me inside of a rectangle, and it just doesn't work that way, right? When we speak about the soul, your spirit, your soul is so big, guys. I mean, when I say it's so big, it's so big. How God fit a soul in a body is God itself, because your spirit, your soul is so big. It's so full. It's so fruitful. It's abundant. It has plenty. It's plentiful. Right? And so that's why when we think about vibrations and how we're connecting to people, when we think about vibrations and frequencies and things of that nature, that's the way that we're able to compel outside of the flesh. It's your soul. It's the soul that emits the energy, right? And that just goes to show just how big the soul is. For it to be able to emit a vibration, emotion is energy in motion. For it to be able to emit a vibration outside of the body in order for it to attract things into your vortex or into your world, into your universe, into your reality, just goes to show how powerful and how big the spirit is. So when you're trying to dim it, when you're trying to fit it in the box, when you're trying to restrict it, when you're limited, when you don't express, when you don't express, when you don't allow, okay, when you think little, that's another thing, thinking little, when you restrict yourself, when you limit yourself, you're limiting the spirit, and that's how we experience internal death. And all it takes is for the soul to die, for the body to die. Let's just be clear. That is death. Okay. So when you're in this practice that I'm sharing with you right now, this practice that I'm sharing with you right now about taking up space, I want you to first think about the thing that you're afraid to do because you fear judgment. I want you to think about the first thing that you're afraid to say because you care, or you think you care because you really don't. You think you care what another person's reaction would be to what you're saying. Hi, Jorge. Okay. I want you to think about your biggest fear. And then I want you to go chase it down. Because the minute that because that's your Goliath. The minute that you face that Goliath, the minute that you face that beast, the minute that you face that mountain, the minute that you face that critic, the minute that you face that demon, the minute that you face that whatever you think is holding you back, because that's what's holding you back. It's the fear of it. But the minute that you face it, the minute that you look it in the eyes, the minute that you say to it, move, and have faith that it will move, and not only that, but be centered in Christ, because that is your rock, that is your center, that is your grounding. The minute that you speak God to that mountain, it will move. The minute that you speak God to that mountain, it will move. And the way that you can speak God to anything, any obstacle, is going to be through your faith and belief in yourself. That no matter what you say, who you say it to, what you're faced with, it's not going to kill you. It can't kill you. Okay? It can't hurt you. Okay? An opinion can't hurt you. What's the old saying? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Opinions don't freaking matter. They don't matter. What someone else perceives about you or thinks about you, they really think about themselves. That's their reflection of themselves. So that doesn't matter. It can't kill you. If you were to go to and this is all perspective here, I'm not saying to do these things because I don't know what your Goliath is, but let's say that for you, your Goliath is you're not happy in a certain relationship, and you're like, well, if I was to tell this person how I felt, then this false stability or this false security, I'm not going to have this relationship. I'm not going to have whatever it is you feel like you're gaining by being in that relationship. I'll tell you now, in that situation, that alone tells you that there's some form of codependency. For you to feel that you need another to provide for you says that you yourself are not sustained in how you provide for yourself. So you can get clear on what the problem really is. It's not the person outside of you, again, because whatever it is, the fear, it's within, and it's showing up for you outside of you. Right? So, because you've called it in. That's the soul speaking to you by way of a person at that point. So you're now, if that's the situation, is because you're codependent upon this relationship. And that's the reason why you don't want to say something, is because you feel that this is your stability. This is your security. And to be honest, that's a lie. That's not the truth. Fear is a lie. Fear is a lie on every angle, in every way, in every perspective, from every lens, from every dimension, from however you want to see it, from every paradigm. Fear is a liar. It's a liar. You don't need anything outside of you to make it happen for you. God gave you everything you need. Hi, Candy. God gave you everything you need within to produce without. All that says is that you haven't, again, opened up emotionally with yourself, allowed yourself to be emotionally available with yourself. You haven't listened to yourself for you to know what the soul has for you. You're not listening. You're not available for you. So you're relying on someone else to provide outside of you what you need within you. And so you're going to always be coming and speaking and living from a broken space. You're not whole. Okay, so let's say that that's the situation. So, again, that's your fear. Well, now tapping into I can do and I can be responsible for myself. I'm a whole individual out here. I'm more than capable. Tap into your talents, tap into your skills, tap into your creative force. God gave us talents. God gives us creative ideas all day, every day. How many times have you thought about something and you're like, oh my God, that's dope? Did you write it down? How many times have you saw something and thought, oh my God, that's cool, but I could do something a little bit different to it and it'll be better? How many times? Like, how many of us are sitting on our gold? How many of us are sitting on our wealth and not doing anything with it because we're still waiting for someone to come save us or wanting someone outside of us to save us? It doesn't work that way. Those are codependent situations. That's where the fear comes from. Same thing. I gave, example of relationships. It could be the job. Same thing. Let's say that it's the job. And you're like, oh my God, Hi Nesrith, you're like, oh my God, please guys share this video if you will. I really appreciate it. More people need to get this message out. And you guys are like my I'm going to call it my friends right now. Y'all are my friends. So I need y'all to share the video, share the live. So, let's say that it's a job. And you're going to this job, but you're unhappy. You don't like it. You're tired all the time. You're exhausted. You don't even have time to think. You don't even have time to write down the things that those creative ideas or the creative idea that you do have. You don't have time to nurture it. You don't have time to water it. You don't have time. And the time that you do have, you have to kind of play catch up with real life. Right? And you know that this job is weighing you down. But you stay there because you have this idea of false security. You're like, well, this is how I'm providing for my family. If I was to lose this job, not if the job loses you. Okay, that's also something. Let's be clear here. Because you bring to the table, now we're talking value, right? Because this is, again, it all ties back into that. If you understand your value, if you understand what your worth, if you understand what you bring to the table, you're not afraid to eat alone. If you understand what you bring to the table, you're not afraid to eat alone. Okay, I'm going to, great example, great example. I am very resourceful. When I say I'm very resourceful, your girl is resourceful. God has made me a very curious person. And because of my curiosity, I have a lot of knowledge stored in this brain. And if I don't have the knowledge, I know where I can get it from. I am not afraid to ask questions, and I am not afraid to receive correction. And that has, hey Jennifer, that has truly blessed me in that I am able to be resourceful for others. So I know when I come to the table, you're going to get a lot of resources, right? You're going to get a lot of resources. You need something, you need to know something, you want to know how to do it, you need at least a direction for how to get to it. I'm probably your girl. That's why I'm in network marketing. Your girl is also very fluent in conversation. Okay? I love to talk to people. I love to pick people's brains. This is this resourcefulness. I love to pick people's brains. I don't want to be the smartest person in the room. I'm okay being the person that's like, I don't know everything. I want to be in the room where the people are saying and talking about more than what I could ever even conceive. So just pour it on. Right? So I am that person. So I know with that alone, right, me being someone I want to sit at the table where the people are smarter than me. I want to rub shoulders with the people that are smarter than me. I want to rub shoulders with the people. When I leave the table, you're probably going to lose a lot of connections. But when I sit at your table, you want me at your table because I'm that person that's going to help bring those connections. Okay, another thing. I promote my butt off. I talk about business all day long. Why? Because I'm my business. When you become your business, and you realize that you talk about you all day. Everybody walking around here all day talking about themselves, but they not selling nothing. What? Yes, you are. Yeah, you are. You're selling yourself all day long. But then if you're wearing this or that or drinking this or that, you're selling this or that instead of selling you. I just happen to sell myself. You understand? So I'm that person who I'm going to promote and I'm going to market myself like crazy. And if I fall in love with the product or I fall in love with the person, I'm going to market and I'm going to promote that product or I'm going to promote that person. So you want me at the table because I'm going to tell people about your business. I'm going to tell people about you. I'm going to tell people about your qualities. I'm going to scream your name from the mountaintops. Why? Because I do it for myself. So I'm saying all of this because I just circling it back to how you treat yourself is how you treat another person. That's what I do for me. So I can do that for someone else and feel comfortable. I don't feel like I'm taking from myself. I don't feel like, I don't feel like I'm restricting myself. I don't feel like I'm dimming my own light to celebrate another person. I don't feel like I'm dimming my light to put someone else in a space where they can be utilized or serviced or whatever. Like my mindset is always for the greater good of the people. If people need it and I know somebody who has it, I'm going to help them get it. If someone needs a piece of information and I know where you can find it, I'm going to help them get it. Because my mindset is always for the greater good of the person. Not about whether or not I'm going to benefit, but rather it's this person. How can I help this person? How can I help this person? Right? And that also came from a space, it started with me thinking for myself, how can I help myself? Because you can't give what you don't have. You can't give what you don't have. Again, circling it back, taking up space. If you allow yourself to take up space, you can allow another person to take up space. Your relationship with yourself is your relationship with other people. Take up space. Allow yourself to take up space. What great ideas are you sitting on? And so let me also say this. When we sit on things, right, something that, the fear of things, we have to understand that in order for those things, because when God gives us gifts, you'll know based off of how, if you keep getting that roadblock, not all the time necessarily does it mean that God doesn't want you to have that. It's saying, I believe, my perspective is that God is saying that that's not the way you're to receive that. Or not in that fashion. And so I'm going to break that down for a personal example. From the time I was a child, I knew that I would be a psychologist. I was like, I'm going to be a psychologist. I'm going to be the person with the white coat on. I'm going to be the person that's able to counsel and prescribe drugs. You know what I mean? Seriously, that's the way I saw it. I didn't want to just be a psychiatrist where people come sit on my couch and they just tell me all their problems. I didn't want to be the person that they dumped on. I wanted to be the person that had the counsel and the solution, right? But I didn't go to school. I didn't finish school for a psychologist. I did go to college and I did go for psychiatry, but I didn't finish college for that, okay? And so I say that because today I am a spiritual life coach and I am a counselor and I also prescribe medication. The medication just so happens to be true food. It's food. It's food. Right? Food is the cure. Right? So I'm literally living my dreams, but not in the way I thought it would be. Because coming into the world, we get this idea, this systematic idea, this societal idea. Hi, mommy. We get this societal idea that this is the way that it has to look. Right? And when it doesn't look that way, you think you failed. You're like, well, God gave me this gift. I know he gave me this gift because I keep on coming back to it. It's something that I love. It's something that it won't leave me. you know, it gives me, I'm passionate about it. I love everything about it. You know, you get in that mindset, and then when it doesn't show up for you, or you're not successful in it in that way, you think, well, if God wanted me to have it, God would have gave it to me and it wouldn't be this hard. And again, that's not, my belief is that that's not necessarily true, because it may just be that that is your thing. It's just not that way. And so you have to be malleable for God to use you and utilize that gift in God's will, God's way, in God's way. So whatever the gift is, I challenge you to go to God and ask God how to help you channel his will for your life. How do you want me to utilize this gift, God? Because once you come into alignment with the will, the way in which he wants you to use that gift, it's go time. I mean, it's go time. I mean, there is nothing, no force, no obstacle, no mountain, that's going to stop it. Because that's what it is when we're in alignment, when we're in flow. You are literally in flow. You'll notice that things just start happening for you very simultaneously. And you're like, oh my God, this just seems very miraculous. A lot of things are just falling in my lap. I'm meeting these people, this person, that person. Things are just going to be very natural for you. And you'll have no other way to explain it other than God. But whenever you keep coming up against those roadblocks, like I said, it's always good I'm learning in myself. And again, my own personal belief, that whatever it is the gift is, whatever it is you can't get off your brain, whatever it is that's in your heart, whatever it is you want to see through, go to God and ask God how to help you manifest it. And then you have to be open for how he moves you. You got to be open for it. If you want to still have control, if you want to be like, no, it got to be this way, it got to look that way, then prepare to continue to be in that space that you're in. When we allow him to take over, you have to surrender. I mean, truly, truly surrender. And every level there's a new devil. And I will tell you right now that I be thinking I surrendered, and then I get to the next level and God be like, some more. Some more. Okay. Some more. You got to surrender some more. You got to surrender some more. You got to surrender some more. So what is it that, and this is another way for you to get clear about your fears. What is it that you're not surrendering? What is it that you're still wanting to hold on to? What is it that your grip is so tight, right? Because that's a fear. There's something there that you're wanting to control. There's something there you're wanting to force. And force is manipulation, and manipulation is the enemy. So what is it that you're holding on to so tightly to? Because now that's your Goliath, right? That is your Goliath. You're going to have to surrender. You're going to have to let go. You're going to have to let go and let God. That's where that phrase comes from. You're going to have to let go and let God, right? And so that's also taking up space, because when your hands are so tight with whatever it is you feel like you should be holding on to, God can't give you anything new. God can't, you're full. That's why he wants you to come surrendered and empty, so he can pour it up. And so I also want to speak to the human part of that, because what we tend to focus on is what we're losing. What you think you're losing. Like, what, I'm going to lose this, and I'm not going to have this, and I'm not going to have that. And, you think that you're putting yourself in your mind in this lack mentality. Like this lack mindset. Because you're deeming whatever it is that's leaving you as a loss. When the truth of the matter is there's so much more for you to gain. And we are really not that smart. Like, the scope of what you think you can have is so small in relation to what God has for you. When you think about the way God sees, God got like a panoramic view. God can see everything. All you can see is what's in front of you, you know. And if you're somebody who watches The Rich and Famous or Lives of the Rich and Famous, or you read books, or you know, you tap into other means for visualization of what it looks like outside of the four corners of your home, or the four corners on your block, or the four corners of your city, or the four corners of your state, however you want to see that. God has such a panoramic view. He has the ability to see far in between, beyond, and going and coming and seeing, and on the side, and however you want to, whatever words you want to use. So while you're holding on to whatever you're holding on to, you don't realize how small it is. And how like he really want to give you something big, something far greater than you could possibly think of, something far greater than you can possibly imagine. That is the surrender. That is the surrender. Don't fear the unknown, but being in that unknown space is what requires our faith. Is what requires us to know, like, I know that God giveth and he taketh away. And everything that he's giving is going to be, whatever he's replacing it with, is going to be far greater than whatever he's taken from me, or whatever he's released me from. Because I don't even want to use the word taken. Whatever he's released me from. Whatever he's released me from is going to be far greater than that. And that also comes with knowing who God is and how abundant he is. Because if you know God like I know God, you know that God don't play. So this term that I've been hearing a lot lately is Herbalife is first class lifestyle. Like, Herbalife does everything in first class. They do vacations. Well, you know, we can earn vacations just by helping people get healthy, be healthy. Like, we're rewarded in so many ways. And so when you go on these vacations, which at the beginning of this year, I declared I'm going on a vacation. And so on these vacations, Herbalife pays for everything. So think about that. Like, this company allows for you to help other people to get healthy, and they award you by taking you on a full paid vacation, and you can bring somebody with you. So I'm going to take my family. I've taken my children on a all expense paid vacation before. They had no idea where we were going. They didn't even know we had to get on a plane to get there. That's the kind of mama I am, okay? But that's also how I love. So let's put that out there, because when I think about date night for, you know, my husband and my soulmate and my partner, that looks totally different than we going to pull up to Steak 48. You know what I'm saying? Baby, I want to go to New York. Can we go to the opera and watch a ballet and then go, you know, like, that's how I think. Okay, it's like a really first class lifestyle. Okay, just putting it out there. Just telling you guys what your girl be thinking. Or the standard for me, okay? But to say, like I said, about the all expense paid vacations. So imagine that. They call it first class living. Doing Herbalife first class. That's really the relationship that you can have with God. Like, God does everything first class. I am a testament to that. I'm a testament to that. Every time I thought, I want this, he's always giving me the more. And so in my God Bodies group, I be saying this top notch, get the most, not the lesser. Okay, that tells me I come from a rich blood. Because I am royalty. Because he don't ever let me forget it. He don't ever let me forget it. He always blesses me with the upper echelon. always. And so what you think you be wanting, what you think you deserve, he has so much more for you. He can see so much more about you. And he wants to give us that, but you have to surrender. You have to let go. So your Goliath is, what is it that you're afraid to let go? What is it that you're afraid to release? What is it that you're afraid to yeah, I'm going to use the word release, not lose, because lose is just to me, it's just not a perfect word for that. It's not, lose sounds like, fear. When that's where fear kind of resonates. And languaging is so important. How we use our words is so important. So don't think of it as a loss. Look at it as a release, because when you release, you receive. So you have to release to receive, release to receive, release to receive, release to receive, release to receive. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, because like I said, I didn't necessarily know what I was going to go on live today and talk about, but I knew that I'd be on live. I do, before I hop off here, I want to talk about a release to receive. Okay, a release to receive. I have a new 14-day challenge coming up. Registration or the actual challenge begins on June 6th. Registration is open right now. Now, what are you willing to release so you can receive these results? Okay. What are you willing to release so you can receive these results? It's actually going to be a drink. So it's not going to be 2 shakes, but it is like a drink, like a detox drink. So if you guys are interested, definitely hit your girl up. You can click the link in my bio to complete the free wellness evaluation. I also was speaking about my alkaline lifestyle that I'm on now. I'm actually on day 20. I am so proud of myself. I am so proud of myself. I am so proud of myself. They say it takes 21 days for us to build or create a habit. And so tomorrow would be 21 days. And I'm just loving everything about it. I'm loving the discipline that comes with it. I'm loving the commitment to myself. I'm loving, the commitment to myself, because that means that I've literally set out to, receive something higher. If you know anything about the alkaline diet, you know that it's very selective. I'm gonna use the word very important, because with alkaline, you are really paying attention to what you're consuming. It has to be of very important value in order for you to consume it. This is also a way for me to look at how the standards are shifting in my life. Because the way you do one thing is how you do everything. So as I get more selective and more intentional with the food that I'm consuming, I'm also getting very selective, very intentional with the people that I entertain, or the connections that I entertain, or the energy that I'm giving, very selective about it. And so it's like I said a moment ago, new levels, new devils. I feel like this was so on time. God always knows what he's doing. And I started the alkaline. Today is the 27th. So I actually did a fast before I did the alkaline diet, or came into this lifestyle. I did a fast first, and I've actually been really clean eating for more than a month now. Like, when I say clean eating, I mean like super, 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 super clean eating. And I have a higher level of clarity. I have a higher level of, I'm gonna say, understanding. Even my languaging is getting clearer and clearer and clearer. And so, like I said, how you do one thing is how you do everything. Once I started getting more selective about that, to the extent that I'm selective right now, it's translating into my connections. It's translating into my relationships. It's translating into my business. It's just translating and transcending in all areas of my life. So same thing. For those of you guys who are interested in getting started on my 14-day challenge, think of it that way. Whatever it is you're releasing, for you to be able to receive, doing it with the intention that what you're going to receive is going to elevate you. It's going to elevate you. that is really the way I want you guys to look at that. So shoot your girl a DM so we can get you set up. Like I said, I'm super, super, super excited. It's actually called a tummy tuck challenge. I would say that it's only for the ladies, but ladies aren't the only ones that need a tummy tuck. Or, you know, you understand what I'm saying. You know, I have men who are interested in losing stubborn belly and back fat. So it's not to say you can't do the challenge. You can still get the products. You can still get the program. But the challenge I am going to specifically leave for my ladies. For my ladies, you guys will be receiving a meal plan, a snack list, grocery list, and also a support system. So I have a 24/7 motivational chat, a private group, a very important group, and access to my workouts. All right. So come get your girl in your DMs. Come get your girl in your DMs. I hope this live was beneficial for you guys. And thank you so much for hopping on, staying on, and sharing the video. I really, really, really appreciate you guys engaging with me as well. And I love you guys. Let's have a blessed Friday. Okay. I'll see y'all in the DMs. Peace.